Dolphins afoot.
He went first and killed it with the funny voice. 49ers, Dolphins. You know, some people had this as a Super Bowl preview. It's kind of went the other way.
Here's where I make my run. Is it the money ball?
Purdy's numbers are down, and he's coming off a woeful Thursday night game. Here's Purdy's numbers this season. I got to consult with Dusty. Dusty, do we have time for one more, or is this the money ball? This is the money ball. It is worth 3. So, bro, it's your guy.
You can't make it is my time. It is my time.
Yes, it's your turn to go. And
this is where I shine.
Here we go.
All right, look, I didn't expect this. Yeah. I don't pick the games and for this segment. But surprise, surprise, it's the rare DMW. Double must win. We haven't seen one in weeks. Double must win, and here's why. Both rare guys need a win. But, so for Tua, what's the rap on Tua? Other than cold weather, it's not going to be cold. He can't beat good teams.
This isn't a good team.
Hear me out. He can't beat playoff teams.
They're not a playoff team.
Yes, they are not. And Purdy hasn't beaten many good teams this year.
They're not a good team either.
You're right. But people think they are.
No.
They seem like good teams. They feel like good teams.
Yeah, with
San Francisco is actually a good team.
No,
but
they're not.
But they're
They
injured.
feel like it, though.
And Miami just, they feel like a good team, right?
Yeah, Tyreek
Hill. Mike McDaniel can coach. He's cerebral. So you get the benefit of playing a bad team that people think is a good team. So if you win this game, Tua, people are going to be like, you know what? But Tua beat San Francisco. You said he can't win. He beat San Francisco.
Really?
And for Brock, they're going to say, wait a minute. He beat Tampa Bay. He beat Seattle. He beat Miami. He outdueled Baker. He did outduel Baker. He outdueled Geno Smith, Nick's favorite quarterback, and he outdueled Tua. So this is the double must win, and it's there for the taking because neither team's as good as their reputation and
Is
image.
Greg going to get to go?
Yeah. I mean, that was good.
That's going to be hard to beat.
It's really simple, Brock. Look, sorry, buddy. You're a tomato can.
Wow, he's stealing your
You
bit.
guys are a tomato can.
Your own bit against
bit.
you.
But you know what you do?
He's stealing my
You
bit.
actually beat up on other tomato cans.
Oh, now, see, I never understood
You actually beat up on other tomato cans, so you actually are the better version of tomatoes. I don't know what type of tomato
Marzano.
what you are,
Marzano.
but you're the better version. And so just do what you've done all season because this is the only way you seem to get wins is when you play teams like this that don't have records above 500. So just go ahead and beat up on all the tomato cans, buddy.
You said you docked points when he stole Nick's board, so you can't help him. He's just trying to
You didn't
steal
say anything
everything.
about the tomato can.
That's my bit.
Okay. It's a must-win for Purdy. It's simple as that. It's like Brew. I don't know if America's seen it. Brew is soft launching a Brock Purdy take departure. It started yesterday with. Listen, I'd sign him. He's a franchise guy. Might be Drew Brees one day. I love him. Top of tier 2. I might make him play for $1 million though. If the guy wants big money. And so, if he loses to Tua, who Brew has brought breakdancers out to mock, who has called soft, who all of these things, and all of a sudden they're 6-9, not great. So it's a must-win for Brew. Okay.
So Nick's saying that, you know what, if Tua goes out and beats Brock Purdy and the 49ers, it really doesn't mean anything because the 49ers are not a good team. They're not above 500. They're not in the playoff hunt. They're not going to the playoffs. They're just not a good team this year. So, so what if Tua can pull off that win? And kind of the same thing for Purdy. He's saying, so what if Purdy can go out and beat the Dolphins? The Dolphins are in the same situation, right? They're under 500. They're not going to the playoffs. It doesn't really mean anything if the Niners can pull off this victory on Sunday. So, there was another segment where Nick was actually talking about Kirk Cousins getting benched in Atlanta. And he was thinking, what if Kyle Shanahan pursues Kirk Cousins? I don't think he's really being serious about it, but we do know that Kyle Shanahan likes Kirk Cousins. He's tried to land him multiple times. Wasn't successful in doing that, but, he likes Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is terrible this year, so just kind of looking at some of his stats, completion percentage isn't bad, 66.9%. That's a pretty good completion percentage. Not at the top of the league, but, not bad at all. He's thrown for 3,500 yards, which also isn't bad this far into the season. He's thrown for 3,508 yards. Touchdowns are kind of low. He's only got 18 passing touchdowns, so that's not great. Not terrible, but not great either. The problem for Kirk has been the interceptions. He's thrown 16 interceptions this year, and that is really the thing that has got him on the bench, has got him benched, is that high number of picks, because a lot of the other stats are good or not bad, and his rating is only an 88.6. So, I don't see how taking a quarterback like Kirk Cousins and moving him to San Francisco and putting him in that offense, in that team, is going to be a better move for the 49ers. If we take a look here at Brock Purdy, he's got a team this year that is decimated with injuries. There's a lot of stuff going on. Players are getting shot. Players are quitting. Players don't even want to go out on the field and play. There's a lot of drama and a lot of turmoil right now in San Francisco. And if we take a look at Brock Purdy's numbers this year, his completion percentage isn't quite as good as Kirk's. He's at 65% completed passes this year. His yards aren't quite as high, but he did miss a game. So Brock's only got 3,174 pass yards. He doesn't have as many pass TDs as Kirk. He's only got 15 pass TDs. But the thing that really, propels Brock above Kirk Cousins this year is the rating and the number of interceptions. So Brock, although his 9 interceptions are kind of high, that's nowhere near Kirk. So definitely Brock Purdy doing a much better job of taking care of the ball. So only 9 picks there, and that gives him a rating of a 94.3. So, I don't really think there's any seriousness to this comment from Nick in this other segment that, Kyle Shanahan's going to go out and try to land Kirk Cousins this year. I just don't see that happening. If anything, maybe try to land him as a backup. If maybe the Falcons cut him or something, the Niners could go out there and sign him for nothing, some type of minimum contract, and the Falcons are kind of on the hook for paying all that guaranteed money that they gave him. Maybe something like that. He might be a backup, or he might come in and try to compete, but I have a feeling, if the Niners did something like that in the preseason, in camp, if Brock Purdy and Kirk Cousins are kind of battling it out for the starting position, I think Brock Purdy would win that battle. But let me know what you think about it in the comments section. Do you think that, this weekend's game is kind of pointless for both teams? If either of these teams win, the Dolphins or the Niners, it really doesn't matter. Neither of them are going to the playoffs. It's not really a statement game. Or do you think it means something? And also, what do you think about Kirk Cousins possibly heading to the 49ers? Do you think there's any possibility of that actually happening? So let me know what you think about it in the comments section. I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this, and I will talk to you soon.